Previously, Tanjiro's family has been brutally murdered by the Demon King, Muzan. His sister, Nezuko, despite transforming into a demon, retains her humanity and continues to protect humans. Fueled by the desire for revenge, Tanjiro becomes a demon slayer, and along his journey, he meets the timid Zenitsu and the hot-headed Inosuke. Together, they manage to take down a remarkably powerful spider demon. Their next mission is set on the Mugen Train, where they are to confront more demons. If you've missed the recap from the last season, you can find the link in the comments below. Rengoku, a demon slayer, is having a meal at a small restaurant. The owner mentions over 40 people have recently disappeared from the Mugen Train. Rengoku thinks there might be a demon on the train, so he goes to the train station to investigate. But the old grandma and little girls selling lunch boxes there don't know anything about it. To help them out, Rengoku buys all of their lunch boxes before leaving. Rengoku hears that the Mugen Train is now at a train repair yard, so he decides to go take a look. Suddenly, he hears screams from the yard. He rushes over and finds a demon with tattoos holding a boy. The demon's sharp claws are embedded into the boy's body, and the boy starts to bleed. Suddenly, the tattoos on the demon change color, glowing a bright blue. The demon darts around Rengoku at such high speed that it becomes a blur, with only streaks of blue light visible. This speed is the result of the demon's blood demon art, enabling him to cover large distances in an instant. Mockingly, the demon threatens Rengoku not to attack, or the boy will get hurt. As the demon digs its claws deeper into the boy, Rengoku reacts swiftly, slicing off the demon's arms. The demon yelps in surprise and escapes in a blur. Rengoku quickly tends to the boy's wounds, hands him over to the Demon Slayer Corps support team, and starts his pursuit of the demon. He transforms into a whirl of flames, propelling himself kilometers away. The demon has entered the train station and targeted the girl selling lunchboxes. Frozen in fear, the girl doesn't know what to do until a lunchbox hurtles towards the demon's head. The girl's grandmother has thrown the lunchbox as a distraction, urging the girl to run away. The girl jumps off the platform to go get help, but the demon catches up with her and pins her to the ground. Just as the girl is about to run out of breath, a whirl of flames rushes towards them. The demon quickly teleports away, but not before Rengoku severs its ankle, preventing it from escaping. He rescues the girl and, with his flame-breathing first form, unknowing fire, decapitates the demon. The grandmother watches this scene with tears streaming down her face. It turns out that 20 years ago, she was saved by Rengoku's father in a similar way. She recognizes Rengoku's movements, which are just like his father's. After calming the two victims, Rengoku finds out that the Mugen Train is leaving tomorrow night, and that there will be members of the Demon Slayer Corps on board. Rengoku is a Hashira, the highest rank in the Demon Slayer Corps, and is known as the Flame Hashira due to his expertise in flame breathing. Tanjiro and his friends also moved up a few ranks due to their previous experiences. On the following night, the four successfully meet up on the Mugen Train. Rengoku warns everyone there might be demons on the train, so they all need to be on high alert. Zenitsu is so scared that his hair stands on end. Why are there demons everywhere? Suddenly, the lights flicker and Rengoku senses the demon's arrival, and Tanjiro smells a foul odor. With his sword at the ready, Rengoku positions himself in front of everyone, protecting them. The lights go out, and in the next moment, a huge demon with a split face covered in horns appears before them. As the demon lunges, Rengoku uses his flame-breathing first form, unknowing fire, and with a blade of flame, easily decapitates the demon. Everyone is amazed at how Rengoku took down the demon with just one move. He then rushes to the front of the train, where another demon with super long arms and 4 scary eyes on its face prepares to feast on a passenger. Zenitsu hides behind a seat, terrified by the number of demons on the train. Inosuke charges at the demon but gets thrown off by a long arm that the demon shoots out. Rengoku catches Inosuke and brings him to safety. He then saves the passenger, urging him to go to the back of the train. Enraged, the demon charges at Rengoku, attacking with its sharp claws. Rengoku uses his flame-breathing second form Rising Scorching Sunday. He swings his blade from below, spiraling into a blazing wheel of fire, and decapitates the demon. Tanjiro and his friends are so impressed by Rengoku's ability that they ask him to take them as his apprentices, and even start calling him Big Brother, and the gracious Big Brother is willing to take them all in. Suddenly, a wave of sleepiness washes over them and they fall asleep instantly. Standing on the roof of the train is Enyu, a demon affiliated with the 12 Kazuki, holding the position of lower rank 1. He starts to use his blood demon art. This power allows him to trap people in their dreams and make them see what they desire most. At this moment, everyone is dreaming about things they long for. Zenitsu is playing in the mountains, carrying Nezuko on his back. In Inosuke's dream, everyone obeys his orders like loyal followers as he leads them on an adventure through a cave. In Rengoku's dream, he sees his father and excitedly tells him about becoming a Hashira, only to receive a cold response. His father was not always like this. He was once the passionate former flame Hashira. His mother's death, however, changed his father. Despite this, Rengoku remains positive, encouraging his younger brother Senjuro to find his own path in life. Tanjiro's dream is a reunion with his family. Next, 4 human children appear on the train. They want Enmu to send them into happy dreams, so they willingly become helpers for Enmu. Enmu instructs each of them to connect their wrist to a demon slayer using a special rope, allowing them to enter the slayer's dream and perform their assigned tasks. In the dreams Enmu creates, the dreamer is in a circular dream space, and outside the circle is the dreamer's subconscious that holds the dreamer's spiritual core. If the core is destroyed, the dreamer becomes a lifeless shell. Enmu assigns each of the 4 kids to destroy the spiritual core of each dreamer. Enmu doesn't do it himself because his demon aura might wake the demon slayers up. Soon, the girl in Rengoku's dream finds the dream's border and cuts open it, revealing Rengoku's subconscious realm filled with roaring flames. In the depths, a floating fireball is Rengoku's spiritual core. The girl quickly runs towards it, preparing to destroy it. Maybe due to survival instincts, the sleeping Rengoku in the real world reacts and automatically grabs the girl's throat, freezing her in place. Because of this, she can't move in his dream as well. Meanwhile, Tanjiro is fetching water in his dream when suddenly, his reflection appears in the water. Before he knows it, the reflection pulls him underwater, tugging at his clothes and shouting, "Wake up! This is a dream, not reality!" But in the next moment, he's transported back home, watching his younger siblings bicker. He's torn. Is this really a dream? Back in the real world, Nezuko crawls out of the box, big-eyed and full of questions. Seeing her brother trapped in a dream, she tries to wake him up but to no avail. In frustration, she hits Tanjiro's forehead with her head. Not only does it not work, but she ends up bleeding, tears rolling down her face. So, she uses her blood demon art, combustible blood. Nezuko's blood turns into pink-colored flames and enters Tanjiro's dream. Recognizing the scent of Nezuko's blood, Tanjiro's demon slayer uniform and his Nichiren sword appear. Tanjiro finally realizes that he's trapped in a dream set up by a demon. He pushes open the door and runs off to find a way to break the dream. Suddenly, someone calls him, "Brother," a voice so familiar. Tears well up in his eyes as he turns to see his sister Nezuko, human once again. His mother and other siblings rush over, asking where he's going. With the faces he misses day and night, and the gentle calls of his family, he wishes to stay in this dream forever. But he knows he has friends in the real world, and he can't go back to the way things were. So he runs off, fighting back tears. At this point, a boy who has infiltrated Tanjiro's dream pierces the boundary of the dream and enters Tanjiro's subconscious realm. The surroundings are peaceful, warm, and quiet. The representations of Tanjiro's soul guide him to his spiritual core. The boy is moved by Tanjiro's longing for his family, and he drops to his knees, unable to destroy the core. While all this is happening, Tanjiro is still trying to figure out how to break the dream. Suddenly, a blizzard kicks up, and his father appears, telling him that what he needs to cut is right in front of him. Before he can react, his father disappears with the blizzard. Tanjiro seems to understand. He places the blade on his neck, and with a hard push, Tanjiro in the real world wakes up. The way to break the dream is to kill his dream self. On the other hand, Inosuke has caught the servant of Enmu who has infiltrated his dream and is chasing her down. Zenitsu, too, finds an intruder in his dream and confronts him, claiming that his world belongs only to Nezuko. He uses the thunder-breathing technique to chase the boy away. Tanjiro discovers the rope on his hand is severed by Nezuko's blood demon art. He then notices 3 other children connected to his comrades by ropes. Tanjiro asks Nezuko to burn the remaining ropes. The human children wake up and attack Tanjiro, blaming him for their failed mission. Enmu won't let them dream beautiful dreams anymore. Tanjiro knocks the 3 children unconscious. The boy who entered Tanjiro's dream has tears in his eyes. He's seriously ill and is constantly in pain. If he destroys Tanjiro's spiritual core, Enmu will allow him to dream happy dreams. But the pure, kind world inside Tanjiro moved the boy, making him reluctant to build his happiness on someone else's pain. Hearing this, Tanjiro is furious. This demon is despicable, exploiting human weaknesses and causing humans to turn against each other. He goes to the top of the train and finds Enmu. Enmu immediately uses his blood demon art against Tanjiro, trying to trap him in a dream again. However, every time he falls asleep, Tanjiro quickly awakens every single time after taking his life in his slumber. Enmyu is surprised to see how determined Tanjiro is. Soon, he traps Tanjiro in a terrifying nightmare where his family scorns him, questioning why he couldn't save them and ridiculing his incompetence. Fortunately, Tanjiro doesn't fall for this trick. He knows his family would never say such cruel things. He roars back boldly, "There's no way my family'd ever say that!" He then uses water-breathing 10th form, Constant Flux, and successfully chops off Enmyu's head. But surprisingly, Enmyu doesn't die. Instead, a terrifying body sprouts from his head. Tanjiro is dumbfounded as Enmyu chuckles, revealing that he had become one with the train while they were sleeping. His previous body was just a false cover. The train is now Enmyu, and Enmyu is the train. The 200 passengers on board the train are now potential food for Enmyu. Enmyu's body merges into the train car, preparing to feast on the sleeping humans. Spotting this, a horrified Tanjiro calls out for help. Suddenly, a person breaks through the top of the train and flies into the sky. It's Inosuke, who has just awoken from his dream. Together, they begin to protect the sleeping passengers, madly severing Enmyu's tentacles. But Enmyu's regenerative ability is strong. Nezuko is captured by Enmyu's tentacles, falling into danger. In the nick of time, her biggest fan Zenitsu uses thunder-breathing first form, Thunderclap and Flash, cutting through Enmyu's tentacles, saving Nezuko. Ashamed he had been sleeping, Rengoku leaps into action, setting the train ablaze with Enmyu's body parts. There are 8 train cars, and he tells Tanjiro he'll protect the passengers in 5 of them. Zenitsu and Nezuko will protect the remaining 3, while Tanjiro and Inosuke are tasked with finding and severing the demon's neck. Using beast-breathing 7th form, spatial awareness, Inosuke determines the demon's neck is likely in the driver's compartment. But when he gets there, he's trapped by countless hands from Enmyu, unable to escape. Thankfully, Tanjiro arrives in time, cutting off these arms. Guided by his sharp sense of smell, Tanjiro confirms the location of the neck is underground. Inosuke uses his beast-breathing technique to break open the floor, revealing Enmyu's neck bone. Just as Tanjiro is about to cut the neck bone with his sword, Enmyu's rotting flesh surprisingly blocks the attack. Suddenly, countless tentacles shoot out from the ground. Tanjiro, quickly picking up the train driver, dashes to the top of the train. The rotten flesh morphs into a bowl-like shape and protects the demon's neck. Tanjiro and Inosuke plan to work together, one chopping at the flesh while the other aims for the demon's neck. Suddenly, countless eyes emerge from the flesh. Anybody who gazes at these eyes gets trapped in a dream. Tanjiro has to repeatedly slash his neck to snap back into reality. He jumps back into the driver's cabin. Every single demonic eye in the room is focused on him. The moment his feet hit the floor, he's pulled back into the dream world. This cycle repeats over and over, each time waking up to the stare of the demon's eyes and then plunging back into the dream world. He gets confused between reality and the dream, and nearly swings his sword in the real world. At the crucial moment, Inosuke holds his hand and reminds him that they are in the real world. Inosuke wears a boar mask so the demon eyes can't hypnotize him. Inosuke proceeds to cut all the demon's eyes. Suddenly, the train driver rushes down, trying to attack Inosuke with a blade. Tanjiro rushes over and takes the lethal blow for him, bleeding heavily from his stomach. It turns out the driver had willingly become Enmyu's minion, lured by the promise of beautiful dreams. Tanjiro knows that the driver is just temporarily confused by his desires. He knocks out the driver and drags him to a safe place. The rotten flesh then begins to swell and morph, becoming several meters tall and trapping the duo. Countless demon hands attack them, forcing them to retreat to the top of the train. As the flesh continues to expand, it throws them up into the air. Waving their swords, they cut through the demon hands, making their way down towards Enmyu's neck. However, a multitude of demonic eyes appear, posing a fatal threat if Tanjiro falls asleep. Luckily, Inosuke, who remains unaffected, quickly dispatches these eyes, leading the way downwards with Tanjiro. Using his beast-breathing 4th form, slice and dice technique, Inosuke carves through the demon's flesh, exposing its neck bone. Tanjiro, with his sword raised, plummets downwards and unleashes his special move, Hinakami Kagura. His blade turns into a blaze, releasing a will-like slash that successfully severs the demon's neck. Enmyu's head separates from his body, and the rotten flesh covering the train rapidly turns to ashes. The train derails, and Tanjiro tumbles down, rolling several times before coming to a stop. Inosuke rushes to help him. His injury from the stab he took for Inosuke is severe, and the exhaustion from using Hinakami Kagura makes it hard for him even to stand. Despite this, he's still concerned for the driver who stabbed him, urging Inosuke Inosuke to save him. At Tanjiro's request, Inosuke leaves to save the train driver. Enmu completely turns to ash, leaving behind an eye marked lower rank 1. Rengoku comes over, advising Tanjiro to focus on his breathing to stop the bleeding. Following his advice, Tanjiro manages to stop the blood, deepening his admiration for Rengoku. Just then, they sense a demonic presence. A tattoo-covered demon squats before them. Tanjiro's face turns pale in shock. The demon's eyes bear the mark upper rank 3. He is Akaza from the 12 Kizuki, holding the 3rd highest position. Thank you for your support, and we can't wait to see you in the next episode.